Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 1985 AN. Today's date is October 2nd, 2019, and the title of the episode is The U.S. Has the Hottest Economy in the World, Transition Set. Now, before I get started, let's talk about retirement. Now, if you visit any of the great tourist spots in America, everything looks peachy. But look a little closer, and all is not well. You can't fail to notice an uptick in homeless and street people out there. That's how it started last time. The signs are all there, and this is happening again right now. But just like last time and the time before that, the stock market is way overvalued and wobbling. You need to put precious metal safety net of gold or silver under those savings to protect them. So talk to one of the specialists over at Noble Gold today. Click the link below to get the free gold guide or call 877-646-5347. Let's get into the economic collapse financial news. Now, as we see, the economy is being set up for a transition. A lot of people can't see this. Now, think about what is happening here. Everything that Trump and the patriots are doing is to set this entire economy up to transition away from the central bank system. If you were going to set this up to transition away from a central bank system, what would you have to do? You'd have to unwind everything they did and put everything back into place so the new economy can function. You can't have a new economy functioning with the tax regulations, company regulations, and everything else that we see, the trade policies. It'd be completely impossible. So what we're watching here, we're watching Trump move forward with this plan of preparing this new economic system, and he needs to bring back trade. He needs to bring back the companies. He needs to get rid of all these regulations. He needs to cut taxes. He needs to cut the budget. Why would he have to do all of this? He needs to do this because we cannot have the entire debt load that we have now on the new system. And yes, all this spending is debt. If we weren't going to borrow all of these funds, how would we support all of this spending? It'd be completely impossible. It would not work. So what is he doing? He's doing everything that we just talked about. Look what's happening out in Germany. President Trump's ambassador to Germany, Richard Grenell, has announced a huge savings of $20 million of taxpayer money after streamlining the operations of Mission Germany. Now, the press release reads as follows. I believe strongly that the American taxpayer expect efficiency and frugality from overseas missions. I am happy to report that after coming $6 million under budget for the year of 2018, Mission Germany came $14 million under budget in 2019. Additionally, we zeroed out all growth requests for the most recent mission resource review, committing to a static budget through 2021. Through continuous analysis of our operations and goals, we have been able to meet emerging requirements through efficiencies and reprogramming existing resources as needed. Now, Mission Germany is the name of the collective of consulates in Germany. The American Embassy in Berlin oversees all the American diplomatic functions in Germany, including the American consulates in Dusseldorf, Frankfurt, Hamburg, Leipzig, and Munich. So the U.S. Department of State refers to the group of related offices as Mission Germany. Trump just cut that budget. Think about NATO. He's having all the other countries ante up. Think about other countries. He's saying, why should we be loaning money to all of these countries? These countries need to start to protect themselves. We can't afford this anymore. And he's absolutely right. We can't afford this anymore. Now, today, we see the stock market is down. Gold is now back up above 1,500. But don't worry about the stock market. Remember, timing is everything. Trump is preparing for the market to take off in 2020. Remember, the mainstream media, the deep state, the central banks, they've been brainwashing the people for a very long time that the market is the gauge of the economy. Now, we know it is not, but Trump is using all the weapons against the deep state, the central bank, and the mainstream media. This is why none of the candidates in the Democratic Party, they can't even touch him on the economy. They know this. The mainstream media can't even touch him on the economy. Now, yes, I know they're all out there saying that there's indicators that are pointing to recession. Of course they're going to say this. They would like a recession, but a recession is not going to happen right now. We already see that the Federal Reserve is getting prepared and ready to cut rates once again. And we know that stimulus is happening right now behind the scenes with this repo market. Actually, they've done a lot less in the last month than they have previous. It looks like the funding problems are starting to die down a little bit. But again, everyone's saying, look at the indicators. Now remember, if you're in an illusionary economy, what good are these indicators? They're not going to work. They haven't worked in the past. If everything is manipulated and the central banks are able to control what the market does, and we've seen this going back many, many years, almost every 7, 8, 9 years, the central bank has an implosion of their system. They make a huge profit on it, and then it's pumped back up. They control it all. We know that the central banks, they fund the stock market. They're purchasing all stocks. Not every single one of them, but the main ones that hold up the stock market. Trump understands that he has the ability to control all this. What have they been doing in the government? They've been manipulating all the data. Unemployment, GDP. They just recalculated everything. They set up new rules. Isn't this what the deep state does? Isn't this what the central bank does? Of course it is. Now, of course, Trump came out and he tweeted out that everything that's going on, that's what's causing the market to take a dive. I mean, this is brilliantly played. It's just fantastic. Saying that, look, the deep state, the central bank, the mainstream media, this is what they want to happen. They want us in a recession. They want the market to come down. This is what he tweeted out. All of this impeachment nonsense, which is going nowhere, is driving the stock market and your 401ks down. But this is exactly what the Democrats want to do. They're willing to hurt the country with only the 2020 election in mind. Well, I would say it's a little bit more than a 2020 election. It's their lives that they have in mind, because we know what's coming. But what's very interesting about this is he mentioned the 401ks, your investments, your retirement. Because since interest rates have been dropped lower and lower and lower, these pension funds, these investment companies, where have they been investing? That's right, the stock market. Now, if Trump keeps the stock market up, guess what? The older population feels good. The younger population who are preparing for retirement, where they have all their investments in 401ks, pensions, and the rest, they feel good. So he's using this, and he's turning the tables and using it on the Ds. That's what he's doing. And think about what else he's been doing. Look at the rest of the world right now. The rest of the world is struggling. The World Trade Organization came out and said, look, dark days ahead for trade, and it's all because of Trump. Why? Because the rest of the world, they're having a problem, especially in the EU. But look at the United States. The United States is standing tall, and it's shining above all other nations. And when you look at the economy, it looks absolutely fantastic. Why would Trump do this in a central bank economy? Yes, one would be to win the election. 2, he needs to drive the central bank system off the edge of the cliff. But 3, he needs to show the world that this is the place to be. Listen, you can't make things work in other places. The other countries are having trouble. The ECB is in negative territory. Unemployment is high. Look at the United States. Unemployment's very low. People looking for jobs. Look at the stock market. It's doing beautifully. Look at our GDP numbers. Fantastic. He's doing this on purpose. He's showing the world that this is the place to be. This country has the hottest economy right now. Listen to what he said. He was having a press conference with the Finland president. And listen to what he says about the economy.
I encourage other Finnish companies to increase their investments in the United States. There has simply never been a better time to do business in America. We have passed the largest tax cuts and reform and also regulation cuts in the history of our country. We slashed business tax, and we're fueling job growth through our record-setting campaign to abolish all of those really terrible, unnecessary regulations. We have plenty of regulations, but many of them we didn't need. We got rid of them. The American economy is booming. Wages are rising, incomes are soaring, and unemployment has hit its lowest level in more than half a century. We want Finnish companies to join in America's extraordinary economic revival. So many countries are coming in. It's the hot place. We have the hottest economy in the world, and it's the hot place to be. They all want to be here. The President and I are also working on a way to improve international trade based on the principle of fairness and, my favorite word, reciprocity. I hope that Finland, which now holds the rotating presidency of the EU Council, will support our efforts to achieve a mutually beneficial agreement with the European Union. We're going to have to start doing something with the European Union because they have not been treating this country right for many, many years, and they know it, and I tell them, and they know it.
And if you notice what he says is he wants free, equal trade. And we have the hottest economy where companies are looking to come back to the United States. He's setting up the transition. That is what Trump is doing right now. And guess what? It is working. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.